Another reason that we would cross-reference a name is if we've got a hyphenated surname. We see this a lot, both in men and women these days. But where it becomes an issue for us is when we index and code, and then file the primary name. We're going to have the hyphenated last name as one key unit. So when we go looking in the file, we're going to look for Reardon Bruss, or that's where it's going to be filed. But if somebody comes in and says, bring me the record on Wendy Bruss, well, we would go to the B's and we wouldn't find Wendy Bruss. So again, what we want to do is make sure we get all alternatives covered in our filing system. So what we want to do when we have a hyphenated name is we want to cross-reference the last of the hyphenated names. So what we would do is we would write the cross-reference as Bruss, and then the first name, Wendy, and then Reardon as Unit 3. So Bruss becomes our key unit, Wendy becomes Unit 2, and Reardon becomes Unit 3. So now when somebody goes into the filing system and they look for Wendy Bruss, now they'll find what they're looking for. Again, let's look at how I want you to write these records. This is a cross-reference record. You're going to write the cross-reference name first, Bruss, Wendy, Reardon, and we'll go ahead and code it. Bruss is the key unit, Wendy Unit 2, Reardon Unit 3. But we're not going to file her information here. We're going to tell who's ever getting to this particular cross-reference record to go see Reardon Bruss. And remember, in correct coding order, Reardon Bruss, we drop the hyphen and push those two words together. Reardon is our key unit. Wendy is Unit 2. The correctly coded cross-reference for Bruss, Wendy, Reardon. Let's look at another one. Here's Douglas Edwards Reed. Again, hyphenated name. So when we code the primary name, it's going to be Edwards Reed as the primary, as the key unit in the primary name, for the primary name, and then Douglas would be the Unit 2. But again, if somebody came in and looked for Douglas Reed, they wouldn't find him because we don't have it in there by Douglas Reed. Reed is hidden, as it were. So what we want to do is we want to do a cross-reference for Reed, Douglas, Edwards. And the key unit will be Reed, Unit 2 is Douglas, and Unit 3 is Edwards. When we write our card, the cross-reference record goes first, filing segment goes first, Reed, Douglas, Edwards, underline the key unit, number the subsequent units, but now we've got to tell folks where the primary record is and therefore all of the information or correspondence with this customer. So we're going to write C right in the middle, and then we're going to write the correctly coded primary record filing segment here, and that is Edwards, read, that's our key unit, and then the diagonal line, and then the first name, Douglas. This is where all of the records for this customer are going to be found. Remember, when you write these, I want the C in the middle so that you can very clearly differentiate the primary key unit and the cross-reference key unit. C is in the middle, cross-reference key unit, and primary key unit. Very more clearly seen.